Hey, I'm John Greaves III, founder of Garage Gym Life, and I'm joined by a really cool dude named Jake Jaworski. And what's really cool about him is he is one of the organizers of the very first Home Gym Con. That's right. We finally are going to have an expo for us. This is going to be all about us. And so we're going to dive right into this really quickly. I'm going to ask Jake some questions about it. And so we're going to get you guys information you need to know so you can be there at HomeGymCon 2023. Jake, thanks for joining us, man.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
I love this idea of having a convention and expo that is for us, because I've been to the Arnold multiple times, I've been to the Olympia and twice, and each time I was like, when you go to somebody else's family's house for Thanksgiving, you're in there and you're welcome, but it's not your family, so you're kind of like, you know what I mean? So this is really cool. What gave you guys the idea to have a convention just for the home gym community?
I mean, the big idea behind it is seeing all of these mini communities within the home gym culture. There's a lot of like groups of friends. There's a lot of vendors, and nobody's ever really met. They're all just kind of internet friends.
Right. Yeah.
So that was the idea that's brewing. But you're right. The current events are really based around like specific sports or like hardcore bodybuilding, hardcore powerlifting, like the Arnold. You go in there, and if you're an average normal person, it's pretty intimidating, but you also enjoy it. So I definitely just saw an opportunity for us to bring this community together and meet each other, learn from each other, and get to know each other even better.
Like for me, the number one thing is community, because once you've been in this lifestyle for a long time, as you say, you really have internet friends, and you tend to identify more with the people that you meet on social media who are also living this lifestyle than you do with the people around you that you run into daily life. And so we are kind of the replacement of, so like for some people, the gym is their third place. And for us, social media has become our third place, because that's where we identify with people, that's where we relate to people. So I really like the idea of being able to connect with people. I know street parking and some of these other groups get together and they do meetups and things like that, but this will be the first time that I know, that I'm aware of, where a bunch of people who are in the home gym community all get together just because we are all members of the home gym community. We don't even necessarily train the same way, but we all train at home. And I think that's a huge, huge unifying factor.
I think the biggest thing for me personally is just meeting the people that I've chatted with, specifically in podcasts, hundreds of people each month, really, people I've communicated with, the opportunity to meet some of those people that I've formed connections with. And I know to see people meet other people for the first time that they've formed connections with would be a really good, would be really awesome to see. So for example, if I saw Kyle
Right.
with Kaizen DIY meet Matt Pendergraph in person for the first time, that would be awesome. Or
Oh, wow. Yeah.
if I saw the guys on the Discord meeting each other for the first time, that would be incredibly cool. I think there's plenty of vendors that I would like to meet, like people that I've chatted with for 5-6 years. Finally meet them in person would be awesome. On the flip side, I think like the fact that the vendors would have the ability to like meet their core audience and learn from them, and just get a face to see like who these people are, that would be an incredible opportunity as well. So definitely something that would help them.
Yeah, because then it gives people a chance to touch the product instead of just seeing a video about it and trying to figure out if this is right for them. Some of these things are expensive. I mean, you got seven. It's easy to drop $1,000 on a bar and not know until it gets to your house whether it's right for you. Which is why, to be honest with you, a lot of people, when they go to, say, a powerlifting meet, sometimes they'll try to buy the bar, like buy the barbell that they actually used, that was on this happened, and this happens typically at like some of the bigger events. A vendor as a sponsor might say, hey, not only are we're sponsoring this event, and we're going to sponsor the event by giving you the bar that you're going to use, and then somebody gets the bar. And so that's like a draw, because now you've basically you tested it out so you know if you like it or not. So this is another opportunity potentially for people to just put their hands on stuff that they've only seen or heard about.
We would love to have just about every single consumer option out there for people to test. Um, it would definitely be a huge advantage
Yeah.
for them to be able to purchase something that they've already had their hands on versus just guessing. And then, again, back to the one-on-one communication with the vendor. Vendors would have the ability to get that in-person feedback that they just can't do with a normal e-commerce setting.
Oh yeah,
Um,
definitely. I mean, so like let's just use a real world example. I've had the Spud Inc. Econo pulley and their low roll combo since like 2013. Okay. Well, actually, I had the Econo pulley first, and then I realized I need the low roll combo to do some other stuff. So I added that on later. But I got that in 2013, and I got it actually at the Arnold. And I was there. I talked to Mark Spud Bartley, and he was giving me advice about the product. I told him what I needed. He said, "Oh, this is what you need." Walks me over to that part of his setup, his display, and he says, "This is what you need." He said, "Do you have all the?" And he asked me what I had to attach it, and I told him, "So I just brought it hanging off my power rack." He said, "Okay." So it was one of those things where it's not just like walking into a showroom and just picking something off the like, oh, I just want that and leave. Instead, it's more like like you said, you're building a relationship. And now it's 2022, and I've bought I don't know how many Spud products just because of that initial contact where I was like, oh, this is what I need. And to be honest with you, I had never heard of Spud before that interaction. I was looking for a way to do press downs. I said, I don't have a cable setup because I had gotten rid of the rack that had a cable setup. So he turned me into a lifelong customer just with that interaction, that he never knew was going to go anywhere. So let's just cut to the chase. This thing isn't until next spring. So there's plenty of time for you guys to unpack more stuff about it. There's plenty of information that's going to be trickling out. What is the next, let's say, milestone? What is the next thing that people can look forward to as we move along down the track towards this date?
yeah, the next milestone will be tickets first sale.
Okay.
And that will be within the next week or so,
Oh, wow.
next week
Okay.
or two. So we'll the we will have ticket options available um, at a discount for, I want to say, a week. It's going to be like a week. The
Okay.
prices will never get as low as that. And then from there, it'll be you. I would love for as many people as possible sign up to our email list, and
And where
we'll
can they
just
get
keep.
that?
There is we can. I'll send you the link, but
Yeah.
on the currently on the save the date, there's an email list that you can sign up for,
Okay.
and I'll use that, and also our Neural News newsletter.
Okay.
We'll make sure to keep everybody in the loop as to who's signing up, um, how how many tickets are left, etc.
Okay. So I'll put
So
the
so
links for all that in the description for this video. So if anybody watching, if you want to be able to just click those links, they're in the description for the video right now. And they'll be
yeah,
updated as, if something changes, I'll update the link and everything else.
yeah. So basically, next step, like I said, ticket sales at a discount. It's like the "you trust us" price. Like, you trust that we're going to create something that you're going to enjoy, and
Right.
then we're just going to continue to build out that schedule from now until hopefully everything's kind of settled by the beginning of next year. And then you can kind of see like, oh, maybe in a few months we'll have enough of the schedule, enough of the vendors that where you're like, yeah, I'm ready to go. That looks awesome.
I want to say that part of the reason why you guys need the ticket sales is because that helps you secure the venue. Because if you don't have the money to pay for the venue, then you don't have a place for people to gather. We'll be all standing in an open field with the rain coming down on us trying to figure out something. So that's a big deal as far as going ahead and pre-ordering your tickets. Not only are you going to get a discount, but you also help Jake and everybody else who's involved in this demonstrate to the vendors you want to see that this is actually a thing and it's worth their time to get involved in it and try to back it.
Let me just add to that. Like you mentioned, or like most people probably understand, like Garage Gym Experiment is not some sort of huge corporation.
Right.
And this is a huge deal for my little company. And the earlier the ticket sales happen, the earlier we're gonna go out and be able to um, help pay for additional help, entertainment, and like for example, I'd love to be able to go out and get some really strong people to come out and do some live lifts,
Right.
like, but that's likely going to cost thousands of dollars to like pay for their travel and have them. The more funds up front, the more sort of
Right.
extra rooms we can have, the more displays. So yeah, all the earlier the better. I will also just mention, like, we'll have 100% guarantee refund policy. I mean, I think we'll probably have to like cap it at a certain amount of days before the event, but there will absolutely be a refund policy that where
Right.
you can get your money back.
And to be honest with you, the bigger this thing is the first year, the more likely it is that you'll be able to do it the following year and the year after that. So if you want this, again, if you want this to grow into something that is something you can take your kids to, let's just make it personal. Think about how many of you guys are working out with your kids in your garage right now. They might be 2 years old, 3 years old, and they're playing in the garage. Don't you want to have something that you can take them to when they're teenagers and you guys can all go to this event that's based around the home gym lifestyle, and you can tell them about how you watched this thing grow from the start to the finish? That's one of the things I wish I'd be able to do with my kids, because all four of my boys grew up lifting in the garage with me, and it would have been so cool. I took them to the Arnold and stuff like that, but it would have been so cool to go to something like this with them and let them see, hey, that this is, they're not alone, that we're not alone, that this is something that does happen. And I just think that that's a really powerful, it's got a lot of potential to it, a lot of potential. And that's why I'm so excited about getting behind it. As we wrap up, man, is there anything at all that I've forgotten to ask you that you think it's important for people to know? I'm going to put the link in, as far as your YouTube channel, all that stuff's going to be in the description for this video. But is there anything that you think people need to know before we let you go?
As a final plug, it will be April 14th through 16th in 2023. It's in French Lick, Indiana, which is
And so you're
a,
trying to book Larry Bird. I keep on bringing this up. You keep ignoring me. Larry Bird, the pride of French Lick.
that's the ongoing joke from quite a few people. I just don't know how to respond to that quite yet. But yeah, it's in basically it's in Indiana, driving distance for a lot of people within the Midwest.
Right.
It's if you were to fly, you'd either go to something like the Louisville airport or Indianapolis.
Right.
So that's where that, with a little bit more information about the resort. It's a family friendly resort. It is as many have mentioned, in the middle of nowhere. So basically you're coming for the event, coming to be with the community, and there's no like real dispersing throughout a big city like you would have with most other events. That everything you're going to do is
Right in one
relatively
spot.
close.
Got you.
Yeah,
Okay.
which is definitely one of the things that I had in mind when booking it here. It's family friendly. There's pools and stuff for kids, and then there's also family friendly, but there's also a casino. So casino, there's really nice golf courses,
Okay.
like world-class golf courses. So a few people have already mentioned, like, we have to get golfing going. So there's definitely some other things to do outside of, like, within there, that you can do with your friends or family, whoever you end up coming with.
So you guys definitely, you want to follow Jake on Instagram. Go ahead and give your social media and your YouTube channel.
Yeah, you can follow us at Garage Gym Experiment, YouTube, Garage Gym Radio, and then I'm hoping we can get the link to the HomeGymCon save the date you'll find a link to sign up for an email that will keep you in the loop about everything going on with HomeGymCon as to when ticket sales come out, and then everything that we are adding to the event as we go forward.